Hello and welcome to Beyond the Slipstream. I'm Justin and I'm here with my brother Matt, and on today's show we're diving into the grab bag to discuss a random assortment of odds and ends that have been piling up here around the Harperama offices over the past several weeks. So without further ado, let's get into it. Matt, what is first on your list of things that you would like to talk about?
Well, let's just talk about this thing I just turned you on to. So it's a YouTube channel that I happened upon. It's a it is a it's a rabbit hole that you can go all the way to the bottom of and be done in like 30 minutes. It is a
It
it's a
might
you
even be less than that.
yeah, it might be. It's a YouTube channel that is created. It's a bunch of videos that are made by AI. Um, and for my money, they're very well done. Like they're very well done. They look super realistic. And what they are is little tableaus, let's call them, like little video tableaus of a moment in time at a famous place amongst famous people. For example, hair metal night at a club on the Sunset Strip. And so the video will open up on with like it'll start, you'll be looking at a still shot of like a person, sometimes a famous person, sometimes just a side person, right? But you're at the Sunset Strip. It's 1982. You've got the year, and it's a point of view kind of depiction where you're sort of moving through this space as if you were there, kind of walking through this bar on the Sunset Strip in 1982.
And
And
who could have
you
been there?
and you come upon all of the main characters of that scene at that time. So, for the one on the Sunset Strip, and you're walking through the space, you're walking through the space through the door, and you get to see what the place looks like. And you come upon Izzy Stradlin from Guns N' Roses, and you see Vince Neil from Motley Crue, and a second later you turn and you see, oh, there's Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue just kind of hanging out at the bar, and then down at the end of the bar you've got Lita Ford getting ready to come on stage and start her show, and then you get a quick pan and oh, Tommy Lee's hanging out there. Another great thing about, oh, and Tawny Katane, from all of the White Snake videos, from everybody's video, a very sexy looking David Lee Roth in a leopard print and hanging out outside in the alleyway slash looking for some something to get fucked up on. Another cool thing about it is that as they show each one of these characters, their name pops up and their age at the time. So they're wearing what they would have been wearing at that time. Their age looks their face looks the appropriate age. You get all that information, and then the richness of details of the spaces is incredible. Like you can see all the like dirt on the floor and the scuffs on the wall. And um, another thing I noticed about it is that on a couple of instances, some of the side characters that don't get a little name pop up or anything look like they might be famous people. Very specifically, there's one where something is like they're on like a movie set and something is being filmed, and the director is like Steven Spielberg. It just rolls right past. You see him for like an instant, and you're like, "Oh, wait, Spielberg's direct," but there's no reference to him. I wonder if the AI is rendering some side characters that are actually like taken from famous people. Um, it's really fun. It's really fun. It's like you're there. It's not just so they cover some like the main genres of music from basically, I would say, what, the 50s, 60s, and 70s is kind of where these videos are located. But it's like the punk rock New York scene. It's LA hair metal. It's
Swinging 60s London.
Yes,
It's,
60s London at the Polo Lounge. It's Ozzy Osbourne in Birmingham, that scene. Um, Dylan up in the Newport Jazz Festival, the Ramones at CBGB, Hitsville, USA, in the soul the soul world. Did you watch the Steve McQueen's Garage one?
yes, but I was like, I honestly was kind of disappointed with the cars. I would like I don't know.
Oh, I wasn't even looking at the cars
Oh,
when
I
I watched
was.
it. I was so invested in the characters. You can play a fun game. I'll throw this out there. I mean, I've watched most of them now, so I can't really do it, but I did it on a couple of them and I actually nailed one. You can play a fun game. Have your hand on the pause button, okay? Um, like I watch them on my computer, so I have it, like I can just pause with the space bar. So the one for New York 1977, it starts off, it's quite clearly David Bowie. If you don't know who that is, it's insane. But let the video roll, and as soon as the new character comes up, like you'll know that it's somebody. Pause it before the name comes up and see if you can guess it, and see if you can get one, get an entire one. I nailed the one, New York 1977, with David Bowie
I
and some
probably the
others.
ones that I would have gotten, I've probably already
Probably watched them
watched it.
already. I
Yeah.
should have told you. I messed up and didn't mention that to you, but it's kind of a fun game to play. But I nailed the New York 1977 one, and I was quite pleased with myself for having done that.
So yeah, the I do want to say this does fold into a thing that I would love to get into a little bit with the AI content. Like, there's just no escaping it. Obviously, like people that are making complete AI music and trying to pass it off like they're a musician, that's like completely wrong as far as I'm concerned. Um, People, I've had long discussions with our brother Andy, who is a musician and recording artist, and the argument that a lot of these people make is like, oh, it's a tool like your guitar. And it's like, no, it's not a tool like my guitar, because I had to learn my guitar, I had to practice my guitar. You can't just say guitar play and guitar plays. Okay, like it's not the same thing when it's not a synthesizer that you still then have to make music from. All right,
Hmm.
this is a computer making music for you. That's not a tool. So in those cases, I have a big problem with it. In the content game, it gets a little, in the video content game, it gets a little blurrier for me as far as what I think is acceptable. And what's funny about this in particular is I this I find way less offensive than there's a very similar genre of these where they take AI, they take the person from today. So like say it was Vince Neil. And they have Vince Neil from 1988 hugging Vince Neil from 2025. All right. And
I
they're
want
like
to see some of those.
embracing each other. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I want to see
like
some of
they're
those.
like long lost, like lovers. And that genre of this I find utterly like disgusting. Like I just it's just it's unneeded, and like I just find it so off-putting. But whereas
Oh,
with this, I was
see. I
completely
completely disagree.
oh, I think it's so off-putting.
I think these two things are one and the same.
I think they're very similar, but the other one I find way off-putting, where this one I didn't find nearly as off-putting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if what see, I think we have to change. We are going to have to change our mindset in a way. Um, AI content will sort of it's going to be its own thing because first of all, as Dana Carvey often brings up on his podcast, this is a concept that has sort of caught his imagination. Sometime very soon, like very soon in the next like year or two, probably, they will have AI engines that you'll be able to type in parameters uh, for an entire movie. Like an entire movie, like full length feature film. You'll be able to type in like, make me a movie starring Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Scarlett Johansson, and Tom Cruise.
You give
I
it
want it to
cast,
be
you
a
give it
spy thriller,
parameters,
and
yeah.
yeah, and not only that, but like
You can put your script in there.
it will render the movie for you, and then you can watch it, and then you can go back and be like, okay, but change this, boom, re-render, change this, and this, re-render, and it's like it's like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, because by then the detail, the level of detail will be getting even better. And it's whether take the morality or whatever out of it. Like, it's just to go on the assumption that it's going to be there. Okay, that's going to be there. These kind of videos are going to be there. Music's going to be there. There's just going to be an entire world of AI content that is mimicking all of the content that we've gotten used to. And then in some cases, it's going to be going even further, because it's going to be creating young Vince Neil hugging old Vince Neil.
Well,
Hold on. Let me
here's
finish my
the good
thought.
side of this, though. There's a good side of it. Go ahead.
So we're just going to have to value judge those things just the same way we do everything else. And in this particular instance, where you're like, yes, I like the stuff that I'm on this thing on RetroStar Music, but no, I don't like the thing on whatever the other channel was that you saw that would have the same renderings of the same person hugging himself or whatever. Um, it's kind of like, yeah, I like this movie, but I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? Oh, I like the new blah 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 from that band, but I didn't like the new one from that band. It's just like some stuff we're gonna like and some stuff we're gonna not like. But I like the fact that people are typing prompts into AI and being creative. That is where the creativity happens. Is the prompt that is typed into the AI that says, "Make me this thing that will be cool to look at," you know, because that is the same prompt that generates The Shining. You know, it's the same prompt. We just now have this tool that can once took a
Excuse me.
crew of people and millions of dollars and months of time to create this thing. We have now created a tool that can kind of create that thing for with none of the stuff. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
All right. And so there is a side of this that I don't have a problem with. Um, is fan content. All right. So in the world of any of the major, media IP that's out there right now,
Hmm. Hmm.
there are plenty of people that love to talk shit about what is being made and say, I could do this and I could do it better. And why didn't
Right,
you do
right.
this? And why didn't you do that? And it's kind of funny that, there are now people out there making, fan content, and, the people that are ever so critical of these things. There's a Star Wars creator in particular that loves to, like, shit all over anything that comes out via Disney, but then now he's watching fan created content that's more suited to where he feels things should have been, like things that should have been done. And he praises it highly and he can't believe how good it is, and, yada, yada, yada. So
Hmm.
there is
Well,
something
like,
to
what
be
kind of
said.
content, what kind of fan content are we talking about? Just like the stories, or
Story
like
continuation. I mean, literal, like, whole. I mean, the other day I was watching him watch a whole ass, video.
like an
You
animation
Yeah, like a whole. I mean, it looked like a friggin' movie. It literally looked like
using all of the Star
Mark
Wars
Hamill
IP
come to
stuff?
life. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Is it
one hundred
AI
percent.
rendered?
Yeah, total, 100%.
I cannot believe they wouldn't just get sued into oblivion
I don't know.
for using that IP.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. You got to send me that, or
I'll
link to
find
it in
it. I mean,
yeah, link to it in the show.
I know who posted it.
Yeah, put a link in the show notes and I'll drop
Um,
it. Notes.
because I have my own opinions about things like this, and I've had um, this long, like, if I ever get a chance to nerd out with somebody about Star Wars, um, long enough, I will get to the, you know, few simple things that could have been done that could have made it, so much better, especially in episode one, which is the first of the prequel series, obviously, where everything starts. I feel like there were a couple of missteps that, if you kind of just move things around a little bit, it would have made the story make a little bit more sense. And if if I'm in proximity to a Star Wars nerd such as myself long enough, I will eventually come to that conversation. So, it'd be neat to go, hey, remake this movie exactly as it is, but change this to this and this to this and this to this, and be
Yeah.
able to then watch my version of it
Yeah.
intrigues me. I'm not gonna lie.
We are so not very far away from that at all. The dark cloud that's hovering over all of this is that the amount of natural resources that must be just blown through to make these things happen is something that we're not ready to reckon with.
Nope.
I mean, when the AI thing happened, like all of the regulations for stuff just went out the window.
Well,
You know,
and they literally can't build the infrastructure for it fast enough.
yeah, it's super scary. And yet at the same time, like I look at this channel that started this whole conversation, and they have, in addition to the videos we described, where you're walking through the backstage, they've also got like some profiles on here of certain people. And this would be akin to if someone made a fan video of, let's say, an actor that they were a fan of, and it was like I'm going to make a video about this actor, and it's just going to sort of tell about her life, right? And so you'd have a still shot of a baby photo of them kind of, getting, doing the Ken Burns effect, kind of slowly zooming in, and you'd have some text on there saying like, this is her when she was 5, and this is her when she was 15 doing this thing and that thing. Well, now they're rendering videos like
Yeah,
that
they'd make
that
them
are
come
that
to
are just
life.
amazing, and it's just a different
Mm-hmm.
version of what would have been a Ken Burns edited with here's the photo, but these can go a step further because it can kind of bring them to life again. And I mean, I'm sitting here watching one of Agnetha Faltskog, one of the women from ABBA, and it just kind of shows her whole career. And at each stage, with each rendering that they do as she gets older and older, they sort of tell you the year, how old she is, like how old she is and what the actual year is, and then like kind of what notable thing is happening with her at that point in her life. And when it literally gets to her sort of retiring from public life, like in her 40s, and then like her comeback in her 60s, and then it even shows her in her like 70s, and it's like today, and it shows her like what she looks like today, and she's like an old woman, and it's like down at the bottom, it's like thank you, Agnetha, you know total fan tribute, super awesome, like gives you a view of this person that you've never sort of seen before, and like I'm totally for it, you know
So,
consequences to the environment noted. I mean, like do I have to have this if it's really going to destroy the environment? No, like no. But I'm in favor of all of the regulating of this kind of stuff that can happen. And I guess maybe I'm a hypocrite for sitting here watching it and extolling its virtues if I'm, you know, not in favor of what this kind of stuff is could potentially be doing to the environment. Uh, I don't know.
well, and as an artist, it also is messing with art. It is messing with the creation of art. And it's
You,
tough.
you mean like putting people out of business,
Yeah, I mean, it is.
like putting artists out of business kind of thing?
Yeah, it does, but it also devalues, what makes an artist special. Now, that also, you can also make the argument that that's very exclusionary and isn't art for everyone, and everybody should be able to create art. But I think that as a people, we need to make a distinction over, about what it is and what it isn't. You know what I mean? So that, real art, and I will say real art as opposed to artificially intelligent, intelligence created art. Real art should be lauded because it is so important to, our, you know, history, You know what I mean? And it would be awful that if artists, real artists gave up making art because the masses now have access to make whatever they want. You know what I mean? So there's a good and there's a bad of it for sure.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I've had an idea in the back of my head, like ever since sort of AI started penetrating our lives a couple of years ago. Um, and I've sort of been watching it progress. Uh, I I'll make my point through the lens of AI poetry, which I think still sucks, right? Poetry in a way is like one of the most sort of like simple and pure forms of art. And I really consider poetry to not only be like a verbal art, like a written art, but also a visual art. You know, how a poem appears on a page, how the words, that part of the feeling that is evoked by a poem is how the words appear on the page, and what happens to you subconsciously by looking at them. um, AI poetry just sucks. It does not have there is something in the mind of an actual human being that can that can bridge gaps in logic, um, that raises the creativity. And AI just cannot do that. And AI is just taking from uh, content that is logically driven in a way. And I, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. If a person sat down and made one of these videos, let's say, um, you know, 1977 at the disco, in New York. Um, if a person sat down and like made one of these things somehow, if they rendered it or drew it or animated it or whatever, it would have, if a good artist did this, somebody was really capable and really passionate about something like that, they could imbue it with certain characteristics that an AI will never be able to come up with. Um,
I agree.
because now, because think about this. These videos that we're watching that are created by AI, they're very effective. They look really good. They look realistic and everything. It takes warehouses full of computers to make these things, you know, full of processing systems, like, and not just like small warehouses, like enormous warehouses that they are building right now to do these kinds of renderings, right? Like we we can do this in like a tiny little speck of our brain. Like these things can happen. The computing power that they have, yes, it's getting very grand, but it is still eclipsed by the power of our brains. And so when you get down to the base level of creativity, the spawning of ideas, which is in essence the typing in of parameters and search terms into an AI, these things are no match for this thing. And so that gives me hope.
Like I said, but the scary thing is that because it's artificial intelligence, it's ever evolving, it's ever learning. With every passing minute, it's getting
Hmm.
better and getting better and getting better. And at some point,
Yeah.
it's going to get to the point that it is just as good. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
you're right. But the key there is that you know labeling it as such. You know what I mean? It's like at this point, the thing that I feel is
I,
going to be most important for us moving forward is just being able to. What needs to be regulated is that it needs to be labeled as AI created.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that
In a way though, I think
you know the difference
I, you
between.
know, I've been fooled by it for sure. I definitely thought the Pope was playing an electric guitar
Didn't
at one
did
point.
we did I not talk to you about the whole thing with the guy that I play video games with?
Maybe.
So I mean that's where that's where my conversation with Andy started was, I had a person that I play video games with sent one of the other people that I play video games with that also makes video game content. He sent him a song, and then I saw the video with the song, and I was like, holy shit, this song is really, really good. Like, holy shit, really good. So I messaged him on Discord and was like, hey, I heard your song and, it's really good. And he was like, oh, I have more stuff on my SoundCloud. So I go to my SoundCloud and I pull him up and I listen to this song, and it's like this 90s R&B, just like fucking masterpiece. All right. I mean, like, literally, I am like beside myself. I'm like,
holy, like, how have I never heard this song?
I'm like, no, I'm just like, holy shit. Like, this guy's good. Like when this gets out, like, this guy's going to be fucking huge. Like, it blew me away to the point where I grabbed the link and I sent it to Andy, and I was like, am I fucking crazy? Like, I had, like, and now mind you, I had like a 30-minute conversation with this guy where I'm asking him all these questions about, how'd you do this? Cause like, I knew this guy was in the hospital recently, and I'm like, like, holy shit, this guy must have a studio in his basement, So I'm like asking him all these questions about, the recording process and the writing process. And I'll tell you, the first thing that he did was he never said shit to me about it being AI. All right. He fully let me believe. And this is also one of the places where I have a problem with it, where it should be forced to be labeled to be made with AI. He just acted like he was a fucking artist. All right. Like, he recorded it and did it all and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what programs do you use? And, that was the only thing that he was honest about, was he's like, I used this one program, which I had never heard of, but after digging, I realized. But anyway, so I sent it to Andy, and I'm like, dude, like, tell me I'm not crazy that this is like one of the best songs you've ever heard. And he comes back, a couple minutes later, and he's like, yeah, you've been fooled. This is
right.
AI.
Guns blazing, right.
Yeah. And shows me where you can go and check, and, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to lie. I was friggin' crushed. I was crushed that, like, this person that I know, that I've, hung out with online for a long time, like, essentially just lied to me and, acted like he is what our brother is. You know what I'm saying? And I felt so utterly betrayed in that moment over it. And it's like, as cool as it is, I hated that feeling. Like, as good as a song as that was, I hated the feeling that I got when I realized that it wasn't real. And, yes, it is real, but it's not the same type of real.
I tell you what, for people like Andy, I can imagine a world, say people that are in, like, video production, stuff like that. Like, I can believe, looking at videos like these, I can believe, like, some of these people must be quaking in their boots, because there have been technologies that have come along over the past 20, 30 years that have literally swept aside, like, entire universes of certain things. For example, let's call it the technology of economy of scale, and the way, like, a Walmart could come through and just wipe out the locally owned
print media
store. Yeah. But then that's my next one. And then you look at Amazon, and, like, the way it just completely, like, just destroyed entire swaths of working, businesses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And things can become ubiquitous to our culture, like, in the blink of an eye. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's already happening.
And,
I mean,
like,
most of the commercials that you see on social media are AI commercials. They're either influencers who are cheap, or AI because it's even cheaper.
Yeah, and it's like, like why wouldn't you just use an AI to design your website? Because like who fucking cares? You just need a website, you know what
Well,
I
dude,
mean?
how about the fact that your hourly employee can now go on with a Chat GPT account that costs a fraction of doing an actual, filming an actual commercial or paying some agency to make you a fucking commercial or
That's what
whatever.
I'm saying.
And
That's
now
what I'm
your
saying.
hourly employee can go do just as good a job or good enough. This is the
Right.
key. This is the key. This is where
And
I
what
start to have a problem with it. A good enough job, okay, of it in a
hmm
few hours sitting at his computer.
Yeah, and we
Uh,
just see the erosion of quality, the
right.
slow erosion of
And the
quality, and
scene,
we all
this
just
is the
become used to
slippery
it.
slope that this AI thing causes.
You know.
It's like you know what it is. It's like Sugar Rush. Okay, you it's like you get that little hit of dopamine, and it's really quick and it's really instant, and it feels good, but the more you get, the less effective it is. And it's the same thing, it's the echo chamber of everything.
hmm
It's one of the reasons why I really do believe that we're going to look back on social media as the place where and
Humanity
again
went off
across
the
the world
rails.
humanity changed itself.
Yeah.
The biggest change that humanity has seen wholesale is going to be, and that's crazy to say because look where we were 250 years ago to now, which is a blink of an eye in the
Yeah.
in the time
Yeah.
of humanity. But look how far we've come in 250 years.
And
And
we've created a machine where every single person on the planet is you know, it can possibly be connected to every other single person on the planet, theoretically,
yes,
in the blink of an eye.
yeah. And so
You know.
now we are dealing with the repercussions of that, and
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and again, corporate greed and all of the other things that go along with it. It's the part that I think people don't realize and probably don't say enough is that we need regulation for all of this shit. Like
Yeah.
there
Agreed.
needs to and right now it's the Wild West for all this shit and it's going
Yeah.
nuts and
Yeah. Of course.
in the
Well,
wrong in
and
at least
this
in
kind
the
of development always stays ahead of
right.
like what policy can do. It outruns it.
Yes. And that is scary. That is
And
a
it's,
scary part of it.
you're forced to play catch up. And with some of these things, like once the horse is out of the barn, like there's no going back. Yeah, it's the whole thing is scary. Well, one point I did want to make is that like, I made the point earlier that we have vastly faster, more capable brains. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like the power, the computational power in our brains, still far exceeds the actual physical nuts and bolts of the brains that they're creating in giant warehouses. Um, our ability to detect AI will will continue to fine tune itself.
Hmm.
And as adamant as you are about how like they should have to be labeled as AI, I don't know if that means there's like a watermark sitting on top of any video that's created, or I mean, how do you do that for a song? You know what I mean? Like before every song, like you can't put a watermark on a song. You can't have a little thing going. I mean, I guess you could like every 30 seconds of the song, a little thing. This is AI,
No,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah. This is
Or
AI,
I mean, in
but what I'm
reality,
saying is we will become better at detecting it so that like
well, but here's
it'll
the
just be
thing.
obvious to us.
Here's where the companies like Meta and YouTube need to get better is they have the ability to detect all of it. It's all there. It's all you. They have the things that will that the digital markers are there for things to be labeled as AI. What needs to be done, in my opinion, is you need to quarantine that shit to a particular part of the internet or a particular part of the app. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
I mean, some people are always going to be fooled, but I feel like in the circles of popular culture that matter, like they're not going to go away. Vanity Fair is
no,
not going to go away. The Oscars aren't going to go away. Uh, Melody Maker's not going to go away. Like that
not
all that stuff
because
will
of
still be there,
this.
and journalists will still be able to identify AI slop versus real people, and real people will still put on concerts, and journalists will go and see them, and they will report on them, and you will be able to know what is real and what is not.
Right. But what I'm
Maybe
saying
not.
is
I don't know.
this.
Maybe not.
I feel no. I think that
We humans will keep the AI out in our ways.
some of us will.
Yeah.
That's the key point being is some of us will have the ability, some of us will not have the ability. All right,
Some of us do not have the
there's
ability.
a large subset of people in this world that do
Mm.
not have the cognitive ability to tell
Right.
the difference between this, that, or the other thing.
And those people are the older ones with all the money.
No.
Yes.
There's also people with disabilities that have all the same access to the internet that we do.
Of
All
course.
right.
Of
And
course. I mean, that's a small minority.
yeah, well, but there's also the majority, the reason the bell curve exists is because, half of the people are on one side and half of the people are on the other. And there are people that, sadly are of lower intelligence and lower education that will be fooled by this stuff that do
Right.
make a difference in the world. And
But you don't
so,
need to be that. I mean, you just need to be just have a slower mind. That's why I say like the older folks. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, I
correct.
mean, you yourself who are not young per
Right.
se,
Have
but
been
like
fooled.
admit, yeah, I admitted I've been fooled as
Yeah.
well. I really thought the Pope was playing a Les Paul. Uh, you know, it it anybody
Right.
can,
But
can be
that's what I'm
fooled on this
saying is
stuff.
that regulation will be the key of,
I agree. I'm for it.
yeah,
Regulate as much. I'm always for regulation.
yes,
I'm a lefty. Um, let's finish this conversation with a question.
sure.
You said you watched Steve McQueen's Garage and were not happy with the automobiles. Did you watch Hollywood 1971 when the stars drove off? And it was all the cars out in the parking lot of a mall late at night.
No, I don't think I
All right,
saw that one.
watch that one because what's cool about that one is you see the Hollywood star, and then each one of them is standing next to a car, and then the shot pulls back so you can see the full automobile and the star, and it tells you the name of the star
It's not
and
movie. Is it movie Cars 1971?
Hollywood 1971 when the stars drove off, I think something like that. Yeah, when the stars drove
Oh
off.
no, I did. I saw this one. It's like the second newest one.
Hollywood 1971. I'm not sure which.
I know this. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hollywood
second newest one.
1971 when the stars drove off. Yeah.
Yeah. Watch that one. That's got some really cool cars in it.
Look, no. I'm not saying that. I was saying that this is the one that I took some amount of upward. The cars are cool, but I feel like these are super outside of two of them. They're super niche, and I don't associate Paul Newman with that Corvette. I don't know what that's like. If
Yeah, I don't think some of them are necessarily associated. I think they just wanted to
Warren
showcase some
Beatty's
cars
Mercedes Benz
and
was pretty
showcase some
great,
stars.
but like
Yeah,
Jack Nicholas, I would have put with, or Jack
Jack
Nicholson, I would have put with
Nicholson.
the Pacer that he drove in The Shining. The Alfa Romeo with Dustin Hoffman though is on point.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that car that Robert Redford's leaning on is not actually a Porsche. I mean, I think that is a Porsche, but I think the car that they meant it to be was a Jaguar.
Well, I'll tell you what, everything on RetroStar AI is and AI is right there in the title of their channel. Everything on there is absolute crack to me. I could just watch this stuff forever. I'm watching the 1960s Christmas memory with God only knows, from the Beach Boys, and it's just it's you get your nostalgia going and it's awesome.
All right,
Can't.
well, let's cork that. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Let's talk some Golden Globes, and stay with us.
Don't miss the Team Bus, our weekly podcast about pro cycling, and oh, did I mention pro cycling? We're kind of obsessed. Dropping into your usual podcast feeds every Wednesday.
Okay. All right. Now you can stop.
Wow. So a black guy can still drop the N bomb.
As a white guy.
I love it.
Oh, dude, his impression of Tony Soprano is fucking
That
so good.
that would have been better if AI rendered it.
Okay. All right. Welcome back to Beyond the Slipstream. Let's jump in and let's talk some Golden Globes. The Oscars are on the horizon, and obviously the Golden Globes is a great barometer to what we can hopefully maybe expect from the Oscars. But why don't we start with film? Do you know any of these results yet? Like, or am I going to be?
Yeah, no, I know some of them. I knew One Battle One for music, comedy, and I know some of them.
All right, so we'll start with Best Motion Picture Drama. It went to Hamnet. Have you seen this?
Wait, whoa, hold on.
Yeah,
you're burying the lead here. We gotta talk about Nikki Glazer's monologue.
Okay, yes.
Because she is an absolute queen. She has got this thing figured out. This is her second year hosting, and she is the absolute right person for the job right here. She should be doing the Oscars. Hopefully this will be a step up to the Oscars, because there's nobody better at roasting than Nikki Glaser, period. Hands down, that's a fact. She is so good at dialing it in for the room, for the event that she's doing. She really walks the line perfectly. And anytime I can see her making a short joke to Kevin Hart, I'm just in my happy place. And the way she got him on the Ariana Grande, your voice is so amazing. I could listen to you sing the phone book. Ask Kevin Hart to borrow the one he's sitting on. I was delighted. I was so delighted. And the other good one was when she said, Michael B. Jordan, you're so hot. Nikki B. Jerkin. You know what I mean? So she can make a phone book joke about Kevin Hart, but then straight up throw in some masturbation humor at the Golden Globe.
Did you see any of the stuff where she went on Stern afterwards and was talking about?
I did not. It's on my list of stuff to check out.
Yeah,
I know she does that every year.
The jokes she didn't do. It's pretty funny stuff. Yeah, no, she does a great job, and that's exactly what you want. You want someone that's going to skewer all of the. It takes a little bit of the air. You know what I mean? The hot air out of those rooms full of giant egos.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Gervais sort of set the template for that a few years back with the Golden Globes, but she has sort of perfected the art in my humble estimation. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that before we get into some of the categories here.
All right, sounds good. Well, back to Best Motion Picture Drama, it went to Hamnet. It beat out Frankenstein. It Was Just an Accident, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Did you see Hamnet yet?
So I've watched. Okay, I've watched half of Hamnet. I know what happens in Hamnet. I am still tentatively going to finish watching this movie. It's going to destroy me. It's going to absolutely emotionally destroy me. I have been slowly but steadily working my way through this film, which I know some people think is an abomination, but this is the only way I'm going to be able to get through this film, is doing it this way. I have to protect my fragile sensibilities now that I'm a parent. Some movies I stop. Some movies I just don't watch because of this. And Hamnet, it's too big a picture not to watch. But I have to steal my reserve and get in there and grind out the last 65 minutes of this movie. It Was Just an Accident and The Secret Agent are two films. It Was Just an Accident. I literally started this movie. I watched the first 10 minutes and I was like, nah, not right now, but I'm about to watch this movie. By this time next week, I will have watched that. Secret Agent is just not available anywhere, pirate or not. But every single critic is gaga over that one. And then Sentimental Value and Sinners, I saw both of those.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch both of those as well. Best Motion Picture for Musical or Comedy went to one that we both agree was one of the best movies of the year, One Battle After Another. And then the more interesting talk about this, because we've already talked about that movie, is the movies that it beat. So I think that it's interesting considering your list. All right, Blue Moon was nominated, Begonia was nominated. Nouvelle Vague was nominated, as well as Marty Supreme and No Other Choice.
Yes. So, and I have seen Blue Moon, Begonia, Nouvelle Vague, and about 2/3 of No Other Choice. Marty Supreme is the one that I have not seen yet. I know that I'm going to like Marty Supreme a lot, but I don't know where it's going to land amongst these other films until I see it. I know I'm going to like it a lot. I know it's going to give some of these other ones a run for their money, but as of now, I mean, One Battle certainly makes sense to me.
It's very good. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Even though Blue Moon was, admittedly my favorite film of the year. When I did my top 10, I realized like this is basically just like my top 10.
Do you think that
films
Blue Moon will get the Oscar nomination?
Yes.
Ooh, interesting. We'll see. Best motion picture that was animated went to K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
I have not seen this and probably will not see this.
I've seen it. It's good. It deserves it. I mean, it really deserves it when we get down to the songs and stuff like that. That is the true glory of this thing, in my estimation, is these songs that they created for this thing, because they are absolute bangers, one and all. I didn't see any of the rest of these. I saw you put a note in there somewhere about the Little Amelie movie.
This is the second time that it's come up in my notes.
I've watched that trailer.
So have I. I feel like I want to watch this movie too.
I'm going to watch it with the girls. I'm going to try when it comes out on something. I'm going to put that on for family movie night one night.
Well, you should put on Amelie first right now. Get them through that, and then
I don't think the two have anything to do with each other.
It absolutely has something to do with each other.
Are you sure?
100%. Not even 99.
What? How? Like
it is directly connected. Hold on now. On-air production meeting.
No, this is just a little research trip.
What is it called again? Amelie. Damn it! I hate autocorrect.
This is from Google's AI. Based on the provided search results, Little Amelie or the character of Rain is not directly connected to the character Amelie.
I swear that I read something
from the video game Death Stranding or the famous 2001 French film Amelie.
No, man, I swear to God, dude, I read something. That's how I even discovered this movie.
I did not get that impression at all. I watched the trailer. I mean, it's like a Japanese thing. Little Amelie.
I swear I read something that it was a direct connection.
All right. Well,
maybe I guess I'm wrong.
Nonetheless, I think the animation style in that movie looks so cool. It is so cool looking, that thing. And, it's a mother-daughter story. I'm quite keen to take a look at that one. I didn't see Demon Slayer or Arco or Elio or...
No, Elio looks good.
Utopia 2. I didn't see any of those, so I can't really weigh in, and I kind of don't care about that category this year.
Non-English language Best Motion Picture did go to The Secret Agent.
And I think that's richly deserved, at least based on what my critics had to say about it. Sentimental value, I don't know. I need to go back and watch that again, because the opening set piece of that movie about the house is absolutely incredible, and I need to figure out why that movie lost me in the end.
I that's the one with Skarsgård in it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I want to see that one too.
The Seurat movie is really wild, and like there are a couple of big things that happen in that movie that I won't spoil that will smack you across the face. Like that movie is not for the faint of heart, and it's really cool. It's an experience, to be sure.
Best actor in a drama went to Wagner Moura. Who he beats out for this is insanity. Like, talk about it.
It is crazy.
Giant list of guys to beat out of this list.
Yeah.
Even physically giant too, in Dwayne
Right.
Johnson.
Yeah, physically giant Dwayne, giant actors in the other
Yes.
three being Edgerton, Oscar Isaac, and Michael B. Jordan. And
I
and
tell you
Jeremy
what,
Allen
dude,
White.
the Smashing Machine intrigues me. I do want to see it.
I saw it. I liked it. It's good. And I'm a major stan for one of my best hall passes, Emily Blunt. But you can see here, Secret Agent. That's the second win on this list.
Yes.
Obviously, this movie is like blowing people away. This is like a Brazilian like retro crime drama or something like that. I cannot wait to see that movie.
Best actress in a drama went to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet.
From what I've seen of that movie, I'm already like, yep, I get that.
Also, a pretty crazy list that she beats Jennifer Lawrence, Julia Roberts, Tessa Thompson, Ava Victor, Renate. I can't. How do you say
Reinsive. Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to watch the Julia Roberts movie. That's the one where it's like they're at Harvard and Iowa Debris is like blackmailing her or something like that. But Tessa Thompson in Hedda, incredible, absolutely incredible. I think that's what she got.
I'm honestly surprised that one didn't win.
Nominated for. Eva Victor, I think that was the woman who like starred and directed in her premiere film called like Sorry Baby. She was pretty incredible. Like Jennifer Lawrence's performance in that Mom's Going Through It movie was also amazing. I'm surprised that Rose Byrne didn't get in here. Renate Reinsve is the one from Sentimental Value, but I think of between Jennifer Lawrence and Rose Byrne and their two performances of moms like completely unraveling. I think Rose Byrne.
Well, you can feel better because she won Best Actress in a Comedy.
Yeah, that's right.
If I had legs, I'd kick you.
Called that a comedy. Talk about taking the easy way out for the Globes. That's weak.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that movie was kind of funny too. It was very tongue in cheek in a way.
Yeah, she beat out Cynthia Erivo, Kate Hudson, Chase Infinity, Amanda Seyfried, and Emma Stone. Timothy Chalamet beat out George Clooney, Leo, Ethan Hawke, Lee Byung-hun, and Jesse Plemons for Best Actor in a Comedy. Obviously for Marty Supreme.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen that yet, but everybody has said the performance is pretty stellar. Clooney and Jay Kelly, like whatever, that movie is so whatever, and it's getting destroyed. It's trying for something that it just does not get. DiCaprio, I could definitely see a case for that performance. I mean, there's some seriously funny stuff in there from Leo. Ethan Hawke, of course, I don't understand how they're calling Blue Moon a comedy, but that's just weird. That's what's so weird about the Globes is some of these categories are bizarre. But that's one that's close to my heart. Plemons was amazing in Begonia.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty much good in anything that he's in.
He's so reliable. And then Lee Byung-hun is a guy from No Other Choice, I believe, and he's pretty great too. I don't know. Kind of don't really care about that category.
All right. Supporting actor in a motion picture went to Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, beating out Benicio, who I think should have won in my opinion because he was so good and Sean Penn, both nominated for the same movie. So both gave stellar performances. He also beat out Jacob Elordi, Paul Mescal, and Adam Sandler for the Jay Kelly movie as well. This is my favorite win of this list is right here. Supporting actress in a motion picture went to Teyana Taylor for One Battle After the Other. She was the mother who was really only in the beginning of the movie and then stole the end of the movie with her letter. She beats out Emily Blunt, Elle Fanning, Ariana Grande, Inga Ebe's daughter, and Amy Madigan.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I think they got that one right. What was Elle Fanning? That can't be for her performance in that Predator movie. Is that what that's for? Predator?
No, it's not for
Predator
that.
Badlands or whatever.
It's for something else.
Oh no, she was also in Sentimental Value. That's
Yeah.
what it's for. So I guess they picked two people from Sentimental Value because I think Inga Ibsdotter, Lily S is
Is also
also
from that
from the movie.
movie.
Yeah, but Teyana Taylor was fantastic. They got that one right.
Very
Paul
right, in
Thomas
my
Anderson in
opinion.
the next one.
Yep, PTA won for One Battle After the Other. Beat out Kugler, Del Toro, Jafar Panhani, Joachim Trier, and Chloe Zhao for Best Director. Let's see. Original score went to Sinners. Box, dude. This, you want to talk about a weird category?
That Ludwig Göransson guy is a complete badass. He's done
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff.
But you
Go ahead.
This is your weird category stuff. Cinematic and box office achievement.
Yeah, they just added this last year. I think last year, it was either last year or the year before was the first year that they did this category. It's just like basically for blockbuster of the year.
Right. And they gave it to Sinners,
I
and
like to see that.
um
But some people said it was a consolation prize basically because Sinners didn't win
that's
anything
what it
else.
feels like. That's what I'm
Hey,
totally
you
with
know
that.
what? At least they have a consolation prize. They could have walked away empty-handed, right?
Yeah. No, I could have seen F1 winning this one or Weapons for sure. Best song went to K-pop Demon Hunters for Golden. So you had mentioned that, the music
Incredible
is what
song.
really makes this so special. So
Incredible song. All right, let's move through this television. You're gonna have more to say about this one than
yeah,
me.
for sure. So best drama went to The Pit, which was also my best drama of the year. So
Wow, you nailed that one.
yeah, it's so good, dude. Its second season just started. It's so good. My wife, who is typically wants to do nothing but digest things immediately, is like, let's save up a couple of episodes so that because I know that I'm gonna want more. So
Yeah.
we were not caught up on it. We're gonna bank a
It's
few
funny.
episodes.
It's like I know I'm gonna want to consume this in minimum 3 episode chunks.
Yeah. So we are letting it build up.
All right, go ahead.
It beat out big front runners, Pluribus and Severance and Slow Horses, and The White Lotus, which my wife and I are going to give another shot to. The Studio won for best comedy series. We both saw that, and
I love it.
very well deserved. The only one that it beats that I'm like, it did beat The Bear. It's hard for me to consider The Bear. Bear is one of those shows that it's going to be hard for it to win because it strides such in both sides of drama and comedy.
Right.
Limited series went to Adolescence. So this is on my list of things.
Incredible.
I need to watch this.
Absolutely incredible.
Okay.
And you know what? This thing hits you in that same parenting spot that I'm worried that Hamnet's going to hit me.
All right. Well, it's on my short list of things to watch.
There was a I don't know if it's a French film or a Canadian film. I feel like it took place. It was set in like Quebec or something, like one of the French speaking parts of Canada, but it was about a child like murder. It was called Red Rooms, and the critics that I heard talking about this movie absolutely raved about it. They said it was completely incredible.
So
But I started watching this film. I'll probably maybe I've already talked about it before. I started watching it and I got to a certain point and I had to turn it off and I was like, I will never watch this film. I cannot watch this film. Adolescence, not quite as bad as that, but it will hit you in that same zone.
So while we're talking about Adolescence, they also won Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor. So
I can believe
Best Actor went to Stephen Graham, that British guy that's been in all the Guy Ritchie movies. He's in that. And he beat out Paul Giamatti, Charlie Hunnam, Matthew Rhys, Jude Law, Jacob Elordi.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kid, Owen Cooper, beat out. I mean, listen to the names that this kid beat for supporting actor: Billy Crudup, Walton Goggins, Jason Isaac, Trammell Tillman, who's the guy from Severance, who's amazing. All right, and Ashley Walters. All right,
Who's Jason Isaacs and Ashley Walters?
Jason Isaacs is Draco Malfoy's dad, You'd know Jason Isaacs.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Was that from like the Lord of the Rings thing or something that he was in? What was his
No,
nomination?
I can't remember what he was nominated.
Wasn't he like one of the bad guys in the Rings of Power or something?
No, he's not in that.
I thought he was like the long-haired like bad guy that's like. Well, anyways.
No. There's a guy from Game of Thrones that's in there. So, and then we'll go back up here real quick. Best stand-up was Ricky Gervais. And I saw all of these stand-up specials. He beat out Brett Goldstein, Kevin Hart, Bill Maher, Kamal Nanjiani, and Sarah Silverman.
I didn't see one of those. I should go and watch all those.
The Brett Goldstein one is very good.
I started the Brett Goldstein one, I should say.
Noah Weil won for the Pit, beat out Sterling K. Brown, Mark Ruffalo, Adam Scott, Gary Oldman, and Diego Luna. Good Lord. What a pack of just A-list actors right there.
That is a
Rhea Seehorn won for Pluribus.
Rhea.
Love this. She beat out Kathy Bates. Dude, how is Kathy Bates getting nominated for Matlock? Like, dude,
it's crazy.
There's got to be like, there's no way that
kid.
I mean, she's great. Don't get me wrong.
Keeps on going.
But like,
she's just Batesing all over that movie.
I guess, man, that's just crazy. She beat out Helen Mirren, Bella Ramsey, Carrie Russell, Britt Lower, all who were all good. I saw all those shows that all the ladies are in. Seth Rogen won for The Studio, so that gives him the Emmy and the Golden Globe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good year for Rogen. It'd be interesting to see where. Well, they don't do this at the Oscars, so. Anyway.
He did beat out Jeremy Allen White, who, if I were voting, it would have gone to Jeremy Allen White. Man, that guy did the Lord's work in this season of The Bear. Actor in a limited series went to Stephen Graham.
Did Evan Moss Baccarat win a Golden Globe like a couple years back?
I believe so.
Or an Oscar?
He wouldn't have won an Oscar.
Yeah, that's right.
Best actress for a little limited series went to Michelle Williams for Dying for Sex.
She's always amazing.
Yeah, she is great in everything.
I tell you what, Amanda Seyfried, she's having a moment right now. Mm-hmm. This movie, the what is it called? The Death of Anne. The one about the Shakers.
Yeah.
Like that movie is supposed to be incredible. That's like at the top of my list of movies to see right now.
We already mentioned Owen Cooper winning for Best Supporting Actor on TV. Best Supporting Actress on TV went to Erin Doherty, also for Adolescence.
Yeah, that show is incredible.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you watch that. Maybe we'll do that as a topic.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, I think
it's only 4. I think it's only 4 episodes.
Yeah. I know my wife will be interested in that one, so I'm going to watch that with her. She beats out the ever wonderful Catherine O'Hara. She also beat out Carrie Coon, Hannah Einbinder, Parker Posey, and Amy Lou Wood. So the Golden Globes. I think it's gonna be interesting when the Oscar nominations come out, and they do like more now, right? How many do they do?
It used to be they would only nominate 5. Now they do 10 Best Picture nominees instead of 5. The acting categories are still 5, I believe, but yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So we, and for those of you that are listening, we are going to do an Oscars show, or at least a Oscar nomination show, and we'll do through that here in the coming weeks. They'll be out very soon.
Yeah, I think the nominations come out in less than 2 weeks.
It might be this week too. So be very interesting. Do you have anything else, sir, that you'd like to go over?
Yeah, I got a couple more things on my list.
All right. Nail it. Let's go.
So first of all, there's 2 things that I've literally been trying to shoehorn into one of these shows for more than a month now. Okay. And this all came up when we were doing Kill Bill, back when we did Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, probably a month ago. When the movie opened up, we talked a little bit about the great use of the fonts and the titling and stuff like that. Well, I found a couple of websites at that time that I'm going to link to in the show notes. The first one is called Fonts in Movies. And this is one of a type of website that I am a big fan of, where the design of the site itself is almost like an art piece. You know, it's like an art object almost. They are very inventive. They have interactive ways of, there are different sort of non-traditional ways of interacting with them, and just they're very very artsy. And this is one of those kinds of websites. And it's fonts in movies. And if you just go to that URL, you get a little screen that scrolls through a couple of their offerings. You get Back to the Future, Fight Club, and Moonrise Kingdom.
I can think, and what's funny is I can think of the fonts for all of those movies.
Yeah, and if you click on them, like if you go and watch them, they're really great. I mean, basically what they do is, let's take Pulp Fiction. We were talking Tarantino. It basically, you just click on it and it starts scrolling through some different frames in the movie that have writing on them, some form or fashion, and it blows them up and you get like a good look at them. Now, what it lacks is it doesn't tell you what the font is. It does not tell you the name of the font, which I'm flabbergasted by. Nonetheless, if you're into just like kind of looking at text, it's really cool. You can see all of these, beautiful use of fonts and different kinds of text, and it's kind of a walk down memory lane as far as the movie is concerned. So it's kind of interesting how you scroll through it. It's like a side scroller in a way, but you have to like roll your mouse up and down in order to make it side scroll. Really cool. So I'll link to that. It's called Fonts and Movies. And then the other one that I found was Tarantino fonts. So if you're into Tarantino and you're into design and graphic design, this is just a more straightforward article. The subhead, it's called Quentin Tarantino fonts exploring the mastermind. The subhead here is, you probably haven't noticed, but Quentin Tarantino managed to shove tons of contrasting movie fonts in opening credits and get away with it. So pretty fun. And
that one does give you the fonts.
Yeah, and that one does tell you what the fonts are, and it rolls through many, many, many of his titles. Not all, but just about all, and really goes through the font. So really cool, some just cool visual stuff. I've been wanting to mention those. And then lastly, I don't even know how I came upon this. It was some kind of humorous article, something about like movies with colons in their titles. And generally speaking, it was like, if you see a colon in a movie title, that movie's probably going to suck, like for the most part. That's kind of the tongue-in-cheek gist of the article. So I decided to look into what are some good movies that have colons in their titles. So I came up with this list. Of course, all three of the Lord of the Rings movies. We are on record as big fans of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and they are all.
I'm definitely a Fellowship guy. Fellowship's my favorite of the three.
Well, they're all coloned up. You have 2001: A Space Odyssey, of course, fantastic. Yeah, masterpiece. Terminator 2: Judgment Day, also a masterpiece.
I would also consider it to be a masterpiece.
And then far more of a masterpiece than either of those two. Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. Incredible. Love that one. Dickie Roberts, former child star. And of course, Top Gun Maverick from last year. So,
Top Gun Maverick, the movie from 4 or 5 years ago that only came out like a year ago.
Yeah, so
Top Gun Maverick is actually really good.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I included a little screen grab from Reddit that I found. The people on Reddit are definitely the funniest people in the world as far as joke writing is concerned. It's ridiculous how well these people are able to iterate.
Lightyear, a Toy Story. Lightyear, a Toy Story story.
Wait. Stop stepping on this. I want to read the whole thing. Somebody puts up in the Reddit thread that had to do with movies. It was in Shitty Movie Details, the Reddit thread, Shitty Movie Details. Somebody wrote, Lightyear 2022 bombed at the box office because : lack thereof. Right. As in : the word : lack thereof. Next person, all they had to do was add it after Toy Story, Lightyear, a Toy Story. Then next person says Lightyear, a Toy Story story.
And then the comment below that was better.
Yeah, okay, that was bad. And then somebody says, those dummies don't know how to movie. And then somebody said, wonder why Star Wars, the colon wars isn't up there. And then, of course, somebody nails it at the end. Probably because it would have been the shittiest one. Get it? Because colon. So good. Reddit, you'll never, ever let me down. Do you have anything else to add to the conversation?
No. I really don't.
I will put all of that stuff as much as I can in the show notes. You'll have to go find the Reddit thread on your own, or you could just go scroll through Reddit for 5 minutes and find it your own hilarity.
On that note, we'll see you next time when we take another trip beyond the slipstream. Ale.
Lovely potting with you this afternoon, sir.
Yes,
Ale.
It was.
Beyond the Slipstream is a companion to the Team Bus and is produced by Harperama. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Please like, subscribe, leave a review, and tell your friends about us. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. Ale!